welcome all to this new video of APSC Bro. Today we are going to continue our video lectures on Medieval Assam History, and today we are going to do the most important and the most interesting part of it, the Ahom Kingdom. Thanks to the Ahom Buranjis, we have ample of data and information on the various kings that rule over the Ahom Kingdom, what the things they did and all the years. So we have ample of information. This not only gives us a interesting study of Assam history, but also gives ample of data for the examiners to set their papers, and that is why Ahom Kingdom is so important. Every year lot of questions are being asked from Ahom Kingdom. So today we are going to do on that, and it is interesting also from the fact that Ahom Kingdom being one of the most glorious kingdoms of the entire country, not only Assam but the entire country, one of the longest running empires of this country, and we are proud that our state Assam has its name coming out of this kingdom. It has something to do with this kingdom, right? So let's continue with our lecture today on Ahom Kingdom. If we just have a quick revision on what the timelines of history about Assam history is all about, you see the medieval Assam history, we have done almost all the important topics here, and today we are going to do the last one, that is the Ahom Kingdom. Last but not the least, in fact the most important one from exam point of view, the Ahom Kingdom. Okay, if you see into the origin, the late foundation was laid by Saulung Sukafa when he came into the Brahmaputra Valley in 1228. It is said that he came from a place called Maulung from Upper Burma. He came with 8 officials, 1080 infantry, 300 horse soldiers and 2 elephants. Interestingly, he didn't have any women with him in this march. He came through the Naga hills, and while coming through the Naga hills, he had to be in battle with those Naga tribes, and he is said to be very strong and very powerful against his Naga tribes, and he did a lot of atrocities against them in order to gain his path into the Brahmaputra Valley. But once he reached Brahmaputra Valley, looking into the beautiful valley here, he knew that this was going to be his next kingdom. So he immediately left his force and he tried to win over the existing tribes of that area, mainly the Motoks and the Borohis, through friendly relationships. And because he didn't bring any woman with him, so he had to establish marital relationships with these existing tribes of Brahmaputra Valley. And slowly and steadily he started to develop the Ahom Kingdom. Ahoms claim that they are the descendants of Lord of Heaven, called as Indra by the Hindus, whom we usually call Indra, and Lengdong by the Devthais. Okay, so slowly and steadily, through his intellectual, through his brave decisions, he started establishing the Ahom Kingdom in Brahmaputra Valley. The first capital was Soraido, and it was established in 1253 AD. So this is an important question. What is the first capital of Ahom Kingdom? It was Soraido. When it was established in 1253. Initially, in the Ahom Kingdom, we had two main categories of nobles. They were Borguhai and Buraguhai. They assisted the king in making decisions. Okay. He died in 1268 after 39 years of glorious rule. So Sukafa died in 1268. So when did Sukafa die? 1268. But in this 39 years of glorious rule, he had already established a beautiful platform through which the Ahom Kingdom can stabilize themselves, grow themselves, and establish as one of the most important forces in the Brahmaputra Valley. After that, few kings came, not very important from the exam point of view. The next important king from exam point of view is Sukangfa. He ruled from 1293 AD to 1332 AD. Why is he important? Because he defeated the Kamata king Niladhwaj. Now, if you have not gone through our previous videos on medieval Assam, please have a look into them. We have discussed each and every kingdom that had ever existed in the Brahmaputra Valley. So, in the medieval history, you have come across a dynasty called the Khen dynasty. Yes, and there was an important king in that Khen dynasty, that was Niladhwaj. Okay, Sukhangfa defeated this king, Niladhwaj, and as a tribute after the win, Niladhwaj gave his daughter Rajni to Sukhangfa. So that was the first marital relationship between a Ahom king and the Kamata kingdom. Okay. Now the next important ruler was Sutufa, and he tried to establish a friendly relationship with the Chutiya kingdom. We have read about the Chutiya kingdom in our previous videos. We know that it was established by Birbal, yes, and they existed almost at the same time as the Ahom kingdom. So this king Sutuva, he tried to establish a friendly relationship with Chutiya kingdom, but actually the Chutiya king treacherously killed him when he was in his visit to Chutiya kingdom in order to strengthen their ties. He was killed treacherously in the Sofrai river in 1376, and this incident initiated the Ahom Chutiya rivalry. Before that, they existed as neighboring kingdoms or neighboring rising powers, but they were not in direct conflict. This was the incident that triggered the famous Ahom Chutiya rivalry. Okay. After that, Tau Khamti became the king after Sutufa. Tau Khamti was the brother of Sutufa. So what he did was he tried to avenge his brother's kill. Okay, he wanted to avenge his brother's death, and so he left his kingdom and went to fight with the Sutiyas. Okay, with whom he left the kingdom? He left the kingdom in the hands of his Borkori, and at the same time his smaller wife, yes, Horukori, she was pregnant, and this made the childless Borkori jealous. So the Borkori was childless, and the smaller queen, she was pregnant. This made the Borkori very jealous, and she ordered the death of Horukori. However, the Buraguha, he came to know of this. So what he did was he managed to help the Horukori escape through the Dihing river. So where did she escape? She escaped to Habung, and she took shelter at a house of Brahmin at Habung. Okay. Why this story is important is that because this child from the Horukori, who was born at a Brahmin family in Habung, later took the throne with the name Bamuni Kuan. Because he was took birth and brought up in a Brahmin family, he was known as Bamuni Kuan. Now, if you have a look at this, all the previous kings, Sukhangfa, Sutufa, Tau Khamti, they had Ahom names. Okay, it was the first time when the Bamuni Kuan became king, the Ahoms started having Hindu names. Okay, like Sorgonarayan and Pratap Hingho, like that. So the first instance of bearing Hindu names started with Bamuni Kuan. His Ahom name was Sudangfa. He established his capital at Sorguya. Okay, and he established friendly relationship with Nororoja of Burma. The Ahoms and the Tipoms were also in fighting positions. They were always fighting with each other. But during Sudangfa's rule, this war ended, and it ended in a treaty. And how it ended? As a sense of friendship, as a signature of friendship, they sacrificed chicken. They cut chicken at the border and established peace between the two kingdoms. So Pat means to cut, and Kai is chicken, and that's how the name Patkai came into being. Okay. Next important king, and one of the most important kings of Ahom rule, was Suhungmung. He is also known as Dihingya Raja or Sorganarayan. He ruled from 1497 to 1539. Now there are very important points from his rule from where repeated questions are being asked. Who created the post Borpatra Guhai? It was Suhungmung or Dihingya Raja. He started census for the first time in 1510. Right? During his rule, Ahoms were finally able to defeat the Chutiyas for good. The Chutiya kingdom ultimately became a part of Ahom Kingdom. Who was the last Chutiya king? If you have gone through our last video, he was Nitipal. Okay. In 1553, the Ahoms defeated the Chutiyas in Chutiya, and they formed a post called Chutiya Khwagohai, okay, to look after the territories captured from the Chutiyas. So which Ahom king started the post Chutiya Khwagohai? It was Suhungmung or Sorgonarayan. Yes, it was in this battle in which we came to know about Hoti Hanini. We have done it in detail in our last video. Please go through that video. Okay. During the rule of Suhungmung, the Muslims invaded in 1527, 31 and 32. Who was the Muslim ruler? It was Turbak. Finally, in the Battle of Woroli, 1533, the Ahoms defeated the Mughals. Okay, so this is important. Between which two forces the Battle of Worli was fought? Between Ahoms and the Mughals. When was it fought? It was in 1533. During this battles with Turbak, Mullah Gafur, who is also one of the most important women figures in Assam history after Hoti Hadhani, was Mullah Gafur. She was the widow of Frasengmung. Who was Frasengmung? The first Hodiakhwa Gohai. Right? The first Hodiakhwa Gohai was Frasengmung, and his wife was Mullah Gafur. Frasengmung was killed in the battle with Turbak, and in order to avenge his death, Mullah Gafur went to war. But unfortunately, she was also killed. But this shows how brave our Assamese women folk were, right? Sorgonarayan also established the post Murongikhwa Gohai to look after the territories which he captured after defeating the Kacharis. He was the first ruler to turn Kachari kings as Thapita and Honsita. That means the king was established. From now on, the Kachari kings will be established by the Ahom rule, and he will be taken care of. So Kachari kingdom is ultimately under the protection of Ahom Kingdom. So this question has been asked many times. Which Ahom Sorgodev has established the Kachari kings as Thapita and Honsita? He was Suhungmu or Sorgonarayan. He was the king who introduced Saka era in the Ahom rule. Okay. He also introduced firearms, and state was surveyed for the first time. First census, first survey, who? Suhungmung did it. Okay. Now, if you go into the details of the Turbak's attack, you see he attacked 3 times, right? 27, 31, and 32. Okay. So, in the first attack that happened in 1527, Frasengmung, the first Hodiakhwa Gohai, died. So, in order to avenge his death, Mullah Gafur went into the battle in 1532. But unfortunately, she was killed. The brave woman was killed. Ultimately, Konseng Borpatra Gohai defeated and killed Turbak in the Dikoraimukh battle and pushed the Muslim invaders beyond Karotoya river. In all our history lectures before, I have shown you the map which shows all these rivers of Brahmaputra Valley. You can see, if you go to these videos, have a look in those maps, you see Karotoya river was in the westernmost part of Brahmaputra Valley, right? So the Ahoms were able to push the Muslim invaders up to that river. So Karotoya river acted as a border between the two kingdoms for a long time. Okay. During the Turbak, after defeating Turbak, Ahoms gained a lot of elephants, horses, and guns through the wind. This was the first time that the Assamese soldiers got hold of guns. This is very important from Assam history point of view. It was because of this Turbak's attack, the Assamese soldiers first got hold of guns, which played a very important role in the later part of the history. Now, during this war, the Ahoms were able to secure a lot of prisoners of war, which were Muslims, right? And these people were established in various parts of Assam, and they came to be later known as the Mauryas. There is a sect of Muslim settlements of Assam. Okay. After that, there was a king Suklengmung or Gorgonya Rosa. He ruled from 1539 to 1552. Okay. He was the son of Suhungmung, Sorgonarayan, but he got the throne by killing his father Suhungmung. He shifted the capital from Bokota to Gorgaon in 1540, and that is why he is known as Gorgonya Raja. So there might be a question, which king established Gorgaon as the capital of Ahom Kingdom? It was Suklengmung. Okay, when he established Gorgaon as the capital in 1540, he built the Nogaali and Gorgaon Pukhuri. Okay, during this rule, the Ahom Kingdom was attacked. See, it's now 1539, 1539 to 1552. If you remember, this was the time when the Kush king Naranayan slowly came into the picture and was able to overshadow the entire Brahmaputra Valley, right? So this was the first time during the rule of Gorgonya Raja that King Naranarayan, Kush king Naranayan, attacked the Ahom Kingdom in 1546. Initially, the Ahoms were defeated in the battles, but finally, during his rule, the Ahoms defeated the Kush king in Pisolaporia battle. Okay, so during Gorgoya Raja, the Ahoms were not finally defeated, though they got defeated initially, but ultimately they defeated the Kus at the end. After him, there was Khora Raja. Why he is called Khora Raja? He ruled from 1552 to 1603. He is called Khora Raja because he hurt himself by falling from an elephant and hence got the name. He was also contemporary to Narayana. Now, during this rule, you will remember the Kus established, they built the Guhai Kamalali, right? And through this road, Silai was able to attack the Ahom Kingdom very fast. Yes, so the Silai first attacked in 1562. Now it was very interesting that in this time, the Ahoms, when they sensed that they are going to lose, what they did, they disguised themselves as Brahmins. They wore Logun, the sacred thread of the Brahmin community. They wore Logun and they rode cows and went into battle like that. Now the Kus army, they were very religious in that sense, okay, and they refused to fight with the Brahmins, and thus the Ahoms won that battle. But so when the Kus came to know that they have been cheated by the Ahoms, they again attacked the Ahom capital, and this time Silarai occupied the capital Gorgaon in 1563. So when did Silarai occupy the Ahom kingdom? The Ahom capital Gorgaon in 1563. And the Ahom king Khora Raja, he fled to Sarai Khurum in Namrup. Okay. So where did the Ahom king fled after the attack of when the Gorgaon was occupied by the Kus king? It was to Sarai Khurum. Okay. Now this king, he introduced the worship of goddess Durga. This is important. And he also created the office of Solal Guhai in order to administer Dorong. So which Ahom Sorgadev created the post Solal Guhai? It was Khora Raja. Okay. So for why it was established? It was established in order to administer Dorong. Now the next king Susengfa or Protapsingha came to be known as Budha Raja, because when he became king he was quite old in age. That's why he got the name Budha Raja. But he was one of the most illustrious rulers of Ahom kingdom. He established the post Borborua, and Mumai Tamuli Borborua was the first Borborua of Ahom kingdom. This is an important question from MCQ point of view. Who was the first Borborua? Mumai Tamuli Borborua. Which Ahom Sorgodev established or initiated the post of Borborua? It was Protapsingha or Budha Raja. Now, along with Mumai Tamuli Borborua, Protapsingha established a very strong and important system, administrative system in the Ahom kingdom. He introduced the pike system, he introduced the posa system, and thus through these all administrative reforms, he was able to establish a strong hold and a strong system in Ahom kingdom, which helped the Ahoms to rule for a long period of time. Okay. Regarding the pike system and posa system, we'll discuss in details in future videos, because these are important from mains point of view. If any one of you are planning to appear for ACS mains, then these are important questions. Okay, but for pike system, if you have not gone through our Kus kingdom videos, please go through that. You will see that the pike system was prevalent in Kus kingdom also. The nomenclature was a little bit different, but otherwise it was the same. Most of the Assamese titles that we get to see now, like the Bora, the Soikya, Hazarika, these are all actually ranks in the pike system or in the Ahom administrative system. Okay. Protapsingha established the cities of Abhaipur and Mathurapur. He also created the post of Borphukon in 1617. This is also important. Which Ahom Sorgodev established the post of Borphukon? He was Protapsingha. Okay. There was a question previously in ACS examination, like which Ahom noble is was created to look after the frontier lands, or who is known as the frontier officer? He is Borphukon. Now Protapsingha also assumed the title Gajapati because he dreamt of building an army of elephants. He had a great love for elephants and he wanted to have an army of 1,000 elephants, and that's why he assumed the title Gajapati. Okay. During his time, there was a battle with Kachari Roha battle. About this battle, we have discussed in our video of Kachari Kingdom in detail. If you have not gone through that video, please go through that video. It's a very important battle. Okay. During his rule, gold coins were introduced for the first time in Assam history. So this is also important MCQ fact. Okay. Now, he next ruler after Pratap Singha was Sutamla or Bhogoniya Raja or Jayadhar Singha. Okay. Now, Jayadhar Singha assumed the throne as per Hindu rituals. Okay. The most important event of his rule was that he was attacked by Mir Jumla in 1662. So during whose rule Mir Jumla attacked Assam? It was under the rule of Jayadhar Singha. Okay. When? It was 1662. During this attack, the Mughals reached as far as the Ahom Kingdom, Ahom capital. And that's why the king had to leave his capital and fled. Okay. And that's why he is known as the Bhogoniya Raja, because he had to leave his capital and run. Mir Jumla was accompanied by a chronicler, Sihabuddin Talis, okay? And he wrote Fatiha-i-Ibriya. In this chronicle also we get a good account of Assam. So who wrote Fatiha-i-Ibriya? It was Sihabuddin Talis. With whom he came? He came with Mir Jumla. Sutamla had to give his daughter Ramani Gabharu to the Mughals. Now, once to regain his kingdom and his capital, he had to come in terms of treaty with the Mughals. Actually, when the Mughals occupied Gorgaon, they were fine for a while, but the Ahoms started guerrilla war as soon as the monsoon season came. And the Mughals, because they were not accustomed to the climate of Assam, they started having a lot of problems, like their soldiers were dying of various diseases like malaria and other things, and hence, and in the same time the Ahoms started the guerrilla war. This created a lot of havoc in the Islam forces or the Mughal forces, and they were also in fact forced to come to a treaty. So there was a treaty of Gilajari Hat. It was signed in 22nd January 1663 between the Ahoms and the Mughals. Okay, who was the Mughal? Mir Jumla, and the Ahom Kingdom king was Sutamla or Jayadhar Singh. As per this treaty, the Ahom king has to give his daughter Ramani Gabharu to the Mughals, and in return the Mughals gave back the capital to Ahom. Okay. During this time, the Ahom king coin came into prevalence, and it is octagonal in shape. We are going to end this video with Jayadhar Singh. We'll be discussing the other important rulers of Ahom Kingdom in our next video. They are very important from exam point of view. So keep following our channel, like and subscribe, keep supporting us. Thank you so much.